Turning now to the Los Angeles' mayor's race. Your Morning is reaching out to all the mayoral candidates to keep you on the pulse of local politics. And today, we are joined via Zoom by businessman RAMIT VARMA, an independent candidate for mayor. His three main issues: homelessness, affordability, and public safety. RAMIT, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So the question out of the gate, why? Why do you feel compelled to run for mayor and lead during this critical time?
I can tell you, my wife's asked me that question every day for the last 9 months.
So she has.
I'm a business guy. I started my business in Los Angeles almost 20 years ago and sold it last year. And when I sold it, I looked around the city and I said, we're seeing this city going in the wrong direction. We've got homelessness, as you saw. We're starting to see a pretty meaningful crime wave. There's a major issue around wealth inequality and affordability. People can't afford to live in the city. And I was hoping that there would be somebody from the outside who would step up and bring some different kind of energy to politics. And frankly, what I saw was just the same old, same old. And so I decided to throw my hat in the ring.
So what do you say to somebody out there, the RAMIT that's watching, that's going, it's just another business guy trying to run for office?
Yeah, I say, look, I think we need another business guy looking to run for office. And I think the reason we have the problems that we have in this city is because we have career politicians who are doing more of the same. Every time you hear about this race, you hear about, hey, what's your plan for this and your plan for that? Look, I've got plans for all the things that we've laid out in terms of homelessness, public safety, wealth generation. But I'll tell you something funny. I have a friend, Mike Tyson, who has a very famous quote, which says, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face, right? And I think the city's been punched in the face. We have plans galore. We just don't have leadership. And I think that what we really need is somebody who has lived solving real world problems and not just talked about them.
Right. We don't have enough time to go in how you would address homelessness and affordability and climate change, et cetera. But you have distinguished yourself by calling yourself the embodiment of the American dream. Why is that key right now in this city, given all we're dealing with?
Yeah, look, I think that people need to be inspired, and I think they need hope. Okay. And in this city, I moved to this city with nothing. I came here as a student. I didn't have a car. I used to ride around the city on a bicycle. And I built a business, and I was able to, build some success with that. And what I feel is important, and what I really want to bring to the people of Los Angeles, is the knowledge that that dream is still available to them, right? Like we're seeing, as we've seen through the pandemic, an even greater exaggeration of the wealth inequality. I think that's a major problem in the city. And for me, I think that entrepreneurship and business ownership and small businesses, those are the ways that we can close that wealth gap. And we can bring people up from the lowest level of society and bring them into the middle class. We need a business person to be able to do that, and that runs across the board. Melvin, you mentioned the idea of another business guy running. There are a lot of small businesses in this city who felt very, very disrespected by the city's COVID response. I agree with that. Many of these businesses have gone out of business permanently. We need a base of businesses and small businesses to create the jobs and create wealth for the future.
So before we let you go here, we want to know, for people out there that are watching that are intrigued by you and want to support you, where can they go to learn more about your policies and your Reboot Los Angeles plan?
You can go to votevarma.com. That's my website. You can follow us on Instagram and on social media, Facebook at @votevarma. And yeah, we'd love to, as we're starting to see people who are looking for a new kind of mayor. I think that's really, if you were to crystallize what we're talking about here in our campaign, it's a new kind of mayor. You've got career politicians. You've got a billionaire who, frankly, inherited $200 million. A lot of people don't know that Rick Caruso's father started Dollar Rent-A-Car, and he inherited $200 million. I think when you've lived a life of privilege like that, it's hard to know what the people in the city really need. And with the career politicians, they're used to talking and to discussing, but not solving problems. And so, yeah, if you're looking for a mayor who can solve problems and who will immediately begin to address the biggest problems facing the city, as I said, homelessness, crime, public safety, and wealth inequality, then really, in my opinion, and there's only one person in the race who can do that.
Well, RAMIT, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we just should point out that here on the morning show, we will be asking all of the candidates to come in. I'm sure they all have their own narratives as well to share. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for being with us.